Hey everyone, so tonight I'm going to make for you chicken chimichurri sandwiches. And this is using our new chimichurri spice blend, which I still have some left from a taste buds box, just to show you how much these really go. You can use this for several recipes, and I've already used it once and I'm using it again tonight. So the chimichurri is a blend of parsley, oregano, garlic, onion, and red bell pepper. And it actually comes, when you order it, now that they've made it regular line, in a container just like this. It's just like our guacamole and our, pretty much all of our regular dip mixes. They come in these round containers. Okay, so what we have here, I've got my plastic mixing bowl. I think this is a 3-quart, which they might have done away with. But it said a big bowl, and I thought this would be big enough. And I've mixed up 3 tablespoons of the chimichurri with a tablespoon and a half of water. And it said to let that sit for 5 minutes. So it'll be there when we get to it. We are going to actually add 1/4 cup of oil. Actually, I think I'm going to start, we're going to do mayonnaise too. 3/4 cup of mayonnaise. And I have my measure all container here. So I'm just going to push this down to 3/4 cup. And if you haven't used these before, these things are really great because you can take something that would be difficult, like, or sticky, like honey or mayonnaise. Well, I went up too far. And just pop it right out. But you bring it down to the measuring line. Get out my mayonnaise here. And we're going to add this in. This is a really good recipe when you need something quick on a weeknight. Okay. That's 3/4 cup. So I'm just going to turn this upside down and pop this in. You see it goes in really easy once you get it all the way mashed down. And it has measurements on one side for solids, which is what I've done here for the mayonnaise, and then you can turn it over and it has a pour spout on this side for liquids. So we're also going to do 1/4 cup of oil. Let me grab it. Get mayonnaise completely all over this board. And I'm using olive oil. It doesn't say which kind of oil, so I think that would, it's heart healthy. That would be a good one to use. I'm just going to pour that in. And while we are mixing this, or after we mix this, I'm going to show you, I'm going to use my Deluxe Electric Grill and Griddle. The recipe actually says to use your cast iron grill pan and press, but I can use my grill and griddle and it'll press and make a panini sandwich just as well. So I'm just going to stir this up here. Smells really good. So, and this is what it looks like when it's all stirred up. So at this point it says to set aside 1/2 cup of the sauce. This is going to go on our bread later. So this is our 1 cup prep bowl, and it has the measurements along the side of it. Comes with its own little lid. The 2 cup and 3 cup are the same way. I'm going to measure out 1/2 cup. bit more. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm just gonna pop the lid on that. We could refrigerate it. I'm just gonna leave it sitting here because it's not gonna be that much longer before we're gonna be using it. Push that to the side there. Okay. So at this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our chicken in this marinade and let it marinate for just a little bit. Which will give me time to show you the deluxe grill and griddle. So I have, it says to use 2 medium chicken breasts. I separated out some chicken last night and I have 3 here. Put 1. I'm gonna go ahead and do all 3. And that way we'll have enough for extra sandwiches another night. Alrighty. So I've just got that all coated just like that. I'm gonna wash the chicken off my hands. Okay, so this is the Deluxe Electric Grill and Griddle. And I just took the cord from the back. It stretches across this. It has a plate on the bottom that collects your grease as it cooks. We're gonna lift this up. The on and off switch is back here in the back, so I'm just gonna turn it on. And you see it lights right up for me here. And we are going to, well, we've got the griddle plates on. I was gonna use the grill, I forgot about that. That's okay. We will do, I'm gonna put it on what temperature does it say to do this at? Just medium heat. So I'm gonna set this on griddle for the 350. And we're just gonna hit the button in the middle and it's gonna come up with the time, 60 minutes. We don't need 60 minutes, but I'm just gonna push that. Hate I didn't think to get the other plates out, but the grill plates would just have the lines in them and then I could pull it down, but this will be okay. So I've done some of my prep work ahead of time. This recipe calls for using arugula. And I'm not gonna do that. I'm not real fond of arugula. So I just got some regular iceberg lettuce. It also calls for some red bell pepper and some avocado. You can do that or you could do tomato, whichever your family prefers. I'm gonna decide on that in a little bit. But it also calls for provolone cheese. So I just bought the regular package sliced provolone cheese. And at this point, I am going to go ahead and cut the bread while that's heating up. So I'm going to use our coated bread knife. And this thing cuts through bread like a dream, y'all. Let's see, I'm just going to cut this in half. And then I'm going to do that in another half. And another one. And then I'm going to cut that half down the middle. Maybe not completely all the way, so it sort of stays intact. then at this point, we're waiting on this. I guess I could go ahead and spread the chimichurri on our bread, show you how that's going to work. Move this over here. I'm just going to get our long-handled scraper. I'm going to spread this on both sides. You can be as generous or as sparing as you want. I'm being a little bit sparing right now because this did say for 2 sandwiches, so I'm hoping it's going to spread across all 4. But I'm probably just going to do it across the 2 for this minute. This should be about ready. So I'm going to get my spatula tongs here. All that's going to happen when this does completely come to temperature, it's going to be, and it's going to want me to add more minutes to it depending on how much I'm going to need, and I'm not real sure at this point, but so it may take a few minutes longer to go ahead and put the chicken on now, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And the spatula tongs are really good to use. Here it's telling me now to add 350. We're just going to add, we'll do it for an hour. I'll just end up cutting it off. The spatula tongs are good for getting under bigger pieces of meat and turning them, which is why I did that. And I'm just going to pull this all the way down on top so it cooks on both sides. And we are going to let that go. And I'm going to sit out here on my plate a couple of the extras that we'll need. I know we'll use the provolone cheese. I'm unsure if everybody in my family is going to eat the red bell pepper. I will, so I'm going to leave that sitting out. And the same for the avocado. So I'm going to ask them about the tomato when we get it done. And I may end up cutting that and the avocado over here. But this is where we're at right now. It said 7 to 10 minutes on each side. So since we have pulled this down and we're cooking it all on one side, we don't have to worry about that. 7 to 10 minutes is pretty much what it's going to take. Now, while this is going, you could also fix your side at this point. I think I'm just going to throw some fries in the air fryer in a little bit, unless I decide we're going to do chips instead. I don't want to mess with that until it's been a few minutes. This is counting down right here. It's at 58:10, so it's only been 2 minutes. So you can judge from that how long 7 to 10 minutes is going to be. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop because the rest of it is pretty well self-explanatory. You're just going to build your sandwich when it comes off. The only other thing I was going to show you is that once the chicken is done, you can put your cheese on top. And there is a little lever on the side of this that you can push this all the way back and it'll hold this over. So it'll melt the cheese on top without you having to do anything else to it. But I'm gonna let this finish cooking and then we're gonna have chicken chimichurri sandwiches. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye.